Okay, all right. So we're live on a few places. Let's kick off Instagrams. Hello. Come on. Okay. Awesome, awesome, awesome. All right. Something I'm forgetting. What's going on? How you guys doing? We got Round Rock, Texas in the house. What else we got? We got Kim in Texas as well. Or is that the same thing? No, that's Scott. Scott and Kim in Texas. Very nice. We got Montana in the house. Sherry is freezing. Where are you at? Melbourne, Australia, Mesa, Arizona, Canada. That's what I'm reading. Put on the banner. For those that are watching on live stream, if you want to join us in the Zoom room, which is where I take all the questions, just go to hiddengroup.com/free coaching, register, we'll get you in there, and we'll have some fun. Awesome. All right, a couple more shout outs. Indiana, let's go. Go Colts. I'm going to the Colts game Sunday. Colts versus Jacksonville. We haven't won there in 12 or 14 years or something crazy. So, I'm saying there's a chance. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. But I'm taking my one of my older sons up there Sunday. Super excited for that. It's about a 5-6 hour drive, I think, from here. Winnipeg, Canada in the house. Awesome. Very nice. All right. So you guys know the drill. You just if you're on Zoom, just click under React, click raise hand if you have a question for me, and we will rock this out. Oh, before I get started, I do want to post something for you. So right now, this is where you get to see who are the serious entrepreneurs, because the non-serious entrepreneurs just take December off, right? They're just like, oh, the holidays, right? So they go into their own little holidays, right? But if you're trying to, first of all, I mean, the most important thing is let's create momentum for January. Let's create momentum for 2026. And it actually started last month, but it starts now if it didn't start last month for you. And so you got to show up in December so that you create momentum in January. Everyone wants to change their life in January, but they tend to purchase from, they tend to join, they tend to work with people they've seen in December. So December is such a key moment. You can delay your growth by months and months and months and months if you're taking December off. So if you need help with locating prospects or generating leads, we have a special right now. It is $17. It is our unlimited leads and prospects bundle. You get two different things. You got a few different options as well on the page. But if you want to check that out, you can. It's higgingroup.com/unlimited. higgingroup.com/unlimited. And so go and make it happen. And just realize I've shared this a few times, but you guys, you've all of you have heard of Black Friday. Do you know why it's called Black Friday? Because historically, that's when companies went into the black. So for my company, for the last 12 years, our most profitable quarter has been the final quarter for 12 years straight. So what we're in right now has been our most profitable quarter every year for 12 years straight. And so don't buy into the nonsense of people saying it's slow season or something like that. Like don't do it, right? That's the amateur talk. Don't listen to them. Go make it rain. Go make it rain. All right. So she's been so patient, and she may be my only question of the day. So this will be a short free coaching Friday. Megan, let's rock and roll. How can I best help you?
So fairly new to the network marketing world, but I've been prospecting people and I've been reaching out, and like Google and ChatGPT have been my undoing, because people ask me, I have started the direct marketing with an advocate. And so people go and they Google and they ChatGPT, and it says like it's a scam or it's not, the water's not beneficial, you don't benefits, and I don't know how to combat that. And I've talked to my upstream, and she's given me good guidance, but it's still something that I'm struggling with. And so I was wondering if you had guidance for something that I could do to like, because I don't want to be like, yeah, okay, no, it's not. But how do I respond?
So what I've found is, I've noticed this for many, many years, right? I'm going to give you two kind of elements to this. One, what I've found is that the objection you're most afraid of is the one that God will allow you to get over and over and over and over until you overcome it. So there are some people on here that are like, everyone says it's too expensive. So they literally get it every two people they talk to. Someone says it's too expensive. There's people on here that think, well, some people think it's a scam. So every two things they get that it's a scam, right? And I really believe that that thing that we're afraid of is just the lesson's repeated until it's learned. Okay. And so you want to be able, so I remember I had two very high-end clients. Okay. So both of them this was, I don't know what year it was, maybe 2016, 2017. And I had two clients, and both of them were $50,000 a year clients. Okay. So they're high-end clients, rock stars. The one was very sciencey, very green personality, very analytical, spreadsheety, that, right? The other guy was a complete rock star in the network marketing space. I mean, he had made easily over $100 million in network marketing commissions. Okay. And so he was consulting. I don't even know if he was a rep for him, but he was consulting for this company. And he was taking their energy stuff, right? So he would just scoop it in his water. So we're in this, we called it our diamond mastermind. And so we're in this diamond mastermind, and he scoops his stuff in his water and stirs it up, drinks it. And the sciencey guy says, hey, can I take a look? And so he takes a look and he goes, oh, this has whatever. I don't remember what it was, riboflavin or something. I don't know. Like, this has this and this and this, and those aren't good ingredients. And the trained pro said, I don't know about all that, but it gives me incredible energy. So I love it. And he walked away. And the science guy, so I'm watching, I'm observing this, and I'm curious. I'm like, how's he going to respond to this? And so the science guy looks at it, he picks it back up and he looks at it again and he goes, And so you need to be able to have stories, right? You need to be able to have stories, and you got to stay within your compliance, right? And so what you don't want to do, because you have all these, what do they call them? Gym bros and biohacking friends. I'm friends with some of Gary Brecka. And so there's now a million Gary Breckas, right? They're everywhere. Right? I'm sure on my street there's two, right? There's two biohacker geniuses on my street, I'm positive, that don't have any degrees or any PhDs or anything like that, but they know everything about biohacking, right? And they probably have exactly polar opposite ideas, right? Like, cold plunge is great. No, you get used to it, like whatever, right? And so, but what none of these biohackers can argue is stories. If I drink something and I gain more energy from it and I feel better from it, what the hell are you going to tell me about it? Right? You're going to take your science and shove it. And so you got to be able to share a story, right? So, I don't know about all that, but when I started drinking it cleared up my skin. I don't know about all that, but when I started drinking it, I got more energy. I don't know about all that, but I tried 4 different filters. I didn't feel anything with any of them. But when I started drinking this, man, my life completely changed. Right. So that's one, kind of aspect of it. And then the second aspect around the business is, when you're new, right, you can't, no, number one, you don't want to make income claims anyway. But when you're brand new, you probably can't, right? You probably don't have, income claims. And so when it comes to that, I'm sure, I don't know, are you in one of my containers, Brenagic? Oh, geez. I'm running like 4 different containers for different Enagic teams. So, okay. So I've been hired by 4 different organizations within Enagic. And so I run all kinds of trainings. Like yesterday I had 3, I think. And so um, so a very powerful answer that any of you can say, regardless of what company you're in, any of you can say this is if someone says, oh, this is a scam, or oh, you can't make money, or oh, blah, 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 anything about that, you say, hey, you know what? Hey, I get it. Hey, if you have a way to make a bunch of money, then go for it. I'm being trained by people that have made millions of dollars. They're showing me step by step how to do it. And so, I'm just following what they say. And so if it's not a fit for you, totally cool. Because see, I think too often people just don't realize how unique to have millionaires teaching you how to make money. The average person does not have that. They have absolutely no access to that. That's on a different planet than them. And so, people get into direct sales and network marketing and they're like, oh yeah, my upline's made, 20 million and they're teaching me. Like, okay, your neighbors, that would blow their effing mind. They would be like, what are you talking about? Someone's made 20 million and they're taking the time to show you what to do. Why would they do that? And they're not even charging you extra? Like, I don't understand. Right. And so a lot of times we get ingrained in the culture and we just think that, oh yeah, everyone on the planet has millionaires coaching them and mentoring them. No, they don't. They do not. Now they may consume content from Hermosi or Brunson or one of these other guys that are amazing. They're awesome, but to actually be getting on team meetings with them and be getting on private webinars and actually being able to ask them questions, they don't have that kind of access. Most people don't. And so the thing is you're going to continue to face this until you posture up, until you feel good about answering it. And then miraculously, it'll go away and you're not going to hear it anymore. Now, that's the one element. Okay. The second element is if you, and I know this, there's a lot of people that won't like me saying this, but I'm just trying to help. There's a lot of people that they brand the company. Okay. So, they got, Girl Enagic, right? They got Team Enagic right on their hat and they're holding the gallon jug with, the name of the company right there. Right. And the problem with that is all you're doing is you're encouraging independent research. Okay. That's all you're doing. That's the only thing you're doing. So what's happening is the people that are branding the company. Now, I know people's response to this because they've told me this. They're like, well, Ray, I really like the company and I want the company to do really well. Well, if you want it to do really well, then build the hell out of it and you don't do it that way. So when I was the number one income earner of a network marketing company, there were 1,300 people a month searching on Google, what MLM is Ray Higdon in? I didn't have the name anywhere. Right? Technically the only place I had the name was on YouTube because that's a search engine. So all of these reps that didn't understand, even though I told them not to, all of the reps that would brand the company and wear the company shirts on all their profiles and everything, that would create search engine traffic, which doesn't go to Google or Instagram, goes to YouTube. And then they would see my videos and a lot of them would sign up with me. And so you don't want to brand the company on social media. If you want to use the keywords on YouTube, that's one thing, right? Because people searching for it, like let's intercept it. Let's float more good content about the company up. So let's create more YouTube content with the company name. That's a good idea. But as far as social media, that's not smart. Because as soon as people see, oh, it looks like she's with some company called Enagic, what do? Amazon, eBay, Google, ChatGPT, right? That's it. And so if you're using the name in your company, you're saying, hey guys, go independently research this. You don't need to talk to me about it. So what will happen is you'll actually have people connected to you on social media that will do their research and you won't even know. And these are people that if only they would have heard your story before they did their research, you might have got them. But instead you won't. And so I would be very, very cautious about branding the company on social media. So that's kind of my two answers to that.
Thank you.
Helpful?
Yes.
All right. Awesome. Okay. Give it up for Megan. Way to go, man. All right. We got Paul in the house. Here he comes. What's going on, man? Hey.
Hey, so for 3 months I had momentum. I lost 17 kilos. I went on a Herbalife program, and I started sharing it and stuff. And then my mom came back from overseas. She was overseas at the time, and then I started blaming the outside. So I started thinking that it was her that made me slow down and stuff. So I just wanted to. Then I started becoming a victim, and I'm stuck in that blame right now. And how to gain back that momentum that I had for 3 months. So I'm a bit more a bit nervous saying that.
Yeah. Good for you. I mean, good for you for admitting that. I mean, first of all, good for you for awareness, because most people blame the stuff outside of them and they don't even realize, right? They think it's the season, or they think it's it is their, mom or dad or spouse or whatever. So good for you for having awareness about, hey, I'm operating in an arena where I can't win. Okay. So the angle I'll go here, and you guys, if anyone struggles with anything even remotely close to this, you will really like my latest book, which is not out yet. I just finished writing it a week ago or something. It's called The Freedom Framework. I don't know when it'll come out. It's not available for pre-order. So there you go. But the best way I've heard this put that I really like, and I give him credit where credit's due, is Joe Dispenza. He says, how you think, act, and feel is your personality. Okay, so let's break that down real quick. How you think, act, and feel is your personality, and your personality creates your personal reality. Okay, so how we think, act, and feel is our personality, and our personality creates our personal reality. So I have people in my life that are always negative, always, right? And I guarantee you, they're going to go to the sports game. Someone's going to spill beer on them. They're going to go to the hotel. They're going to be placed by the elevator. It's going to ding all night. Okay. They're going to slip and fall in the parking lot, right? I also have friends that are consistently believing that God's favor goes with them. So they're consistently getting upgrades at hotels. They're consistently getting comped rooms. They're consistently getting gifts out of nowhere. They're winning things, and they're just lucky. They're the 100th customer in line and they win, right? And so how we think, act, and feel is our personality, and our personality creates our personal reality. And so if we want to change our personal reality, we have to change our personality. We have to change how we think, act, and feel. And I think you've actually done a good job of identifying the problem, right? Which that's one of the harder things. So when I talk about the 3 steps of change, step 1 is awareness. You're aware. Hey, I'm operating in a way that isn't helpful. I need to change this. So awareness is key. A lot of people are not aware that this is what they're doing. And so great job. And so the second step is to change our language. So it's awareness, new language. Okay. So what's new language? And this can be new age. This can be biblical. Biblical would be death and life's in the power of the tongue. It's not what goes into your mouth, but what comes out of your mouth that defiles you, right? So like biblical, new age, what we speak about, we bring about, right? Some, same kind of things. And so we have to stop describing things in the way that isn't helpful to us. So usually we have such an addiction to telling it like it is. So, I'm just Ray, I'm just telling it like it is. Well, telling it like it is keeps it like it is. So you only tell it like it is if you want to keep it like it is. Right. So in the beginning, when you start to have new language, you want to take the behavior you no longer desire and set it in the past. Okay. So for the past month, I've been describing all of the different problems that are causing me the lack of momentum, but I'm excited I'm getting better and better. What that does is it speaks life into your language, right? So you're starting to turn the corner and create life in your language. And you'll get to a point where you no longer need to say, in the past, I struggled with, and you'll just say, hey, I'm super grateful. I'm getting better and better. So that's new language. Okay. Step 3, new action. Right. So we're chipping away how we think, act, and feel. We're changing our personality to change our personal reality. So new action, your best thing there is there's a question that you can ask yourself. It's a question that I asked myself every day for 7 months straight. And it was a very powerful process. And honestly, I probably should go back to it because why not? Why wouldn't I continue doing this? But the question is, what can I do today that would make me proud of myself? And the answer will always be something that is good for you, but you're either afraid of, nervous of, or you're not sure you can do. So, for example, I'll give you some simple examples. Simple example, I remember I was going to a Super Bowl party, right? And I'd been really good with my diet. And so I asked myself, okay, what can I do today that would make me proud of myself? I knew I was going to the Super Bowl party. I knew there would be, buffalo dip and nachos and quesadillas and chicken wing. And I knew there would be just a smorgasbord of amazing food. And historically, I would just go and I would eat 3 days worth of food and completely blow the last 2 weeks of me being better, with eating, right? Now I don't struggle with that stuff anymore. I've kind of broken all of those chains, but that used to be a very big deal for me. And so, what can I do today to make me proud of myself? Not eat like a pig at the Super Bowl party. So when I went there and didn't eat like a pig, I was like, yeah, felt a little bit better about myself. And so it's those daily micro actions that all of a sudden your self-esteem, your self-confidence starts to increase because confidence isn't something you have, it's something you gain through action. And so this is going to help increase your self-esteem, self-confidence, help you, just get rid of that, kind of negative blaming, victimhood kind of stuff. And there's other stuff I could share on that, but I feel like that would be a good start for you. And you can, like, it also when it comes to like business action, you could tap into. So if you think about the person you were when you're in momentum, okay, this is a powerful exercise. You can, just imagine, pick what was an outfit you were wearing one day when you were in massive momentum and you were feeling good and everything. So you just kind of imagine that, what did that look like? And you imagine yourself stepping into that clothing. It's like a suit of armor. Like you're stepping into that suit of armor. You're stepping into the that clothing. You're going back into that same energy that you were in momentum. And you can ask yourself, well, what were some actions I took back then? Oh my goodness, you know what? I reached out to people on my chicken list. Oh my goodness, you know what? I went to a networking event once. Oh my goodness, you know what? I was vulnerable on a live. And so you can start to pick apart what did that person, who that was you, what did that person in the past that was in momentum, what were some of the actions they did that I'm no longer doing? Well, maybe today I do one of those things. Does that help?
Yeah, yeah, it does. Thank you,
Awesome.
Brandon.
Awesome, man. Rooting for you. Awesome. Very cool. All right. We got Henry. Henry, can you get on camera or no? I can't pin you. I can't spotlight. Oh man, Henry, here we go. All right. What do we got, sir?
One question that I wanted to see your point of view because I'm doing a lot of videos, I've had a lot of people, majority, like I want to say 60%, 30% of the people say that they had joined another company and that it didn't go well. And the first thing they notice from that whole video, that's like 10, 15 minutes long, is the products. So their instinct is like selling products. So my question was, is it okay for me to like do an actual video of the presentation and just send those out so they can watch me and I explain to them that it's not really about the products and actually doing the presentation myself. And then the people that do join me, they can use that same video when they.
Yeah. So you could, although some people would say, well, he had to create a video. Like, how come he had to create a video? So if I was joining, I'm not a part of any company. I've been every kind of role in a company. I've been a 50-50 partner. I've been on the executive board. I've been number one income earner. I've been a lot of different things for different companies. I'm currently not affiliated with any, but if I was joining one right now, I would infinitely prefer to not have to create a video myself and point to one existing, because that would be more powerful for my prospects, for me to say, hey, you don't got to create a video. In fact, I didn't. I just used this one. So all you do, which is a magical phrase in direct sales, all you do is get people to watch this video that I didn't create. And so that would be my preference, for you to locate a video by someone in your upline or someone somewhere that you can point to and say, yeah, all I do is I just get people to watch this video. That's all I do. As soon as you create the video, some people are going to say, well, he created a video. Is he just trying to brand himself? Like, why should I send people his video? It gets a little different. I'm not saying you can't do it. And if there is an absolute void of any videos from anybody else in your company that is usable, then you got to do what you got to do. When I joined a company that was in pre-launch, I had to create all the videos. There were none. And so I don't like that. I would rather not, and I know how to create videos. I would rather point and say, look, I just drive people to this video. That's all I do. And because the whole deal with direct sales is not look at how impressive I am, but you can do what I'm doing. That's the whole point. Does that make sense? You're muted. I can't hear you.
I said, okay, I just go do I'll do more of the videos that I have and just go ahead and just knock the objection that they give me about them having to build another company and then they don't want to. They just think that we are selling stuff, and that's ultimately not what we do.
Well, at the end of the day, you are selling stuff, and so it's. I never like it when someone's like, no, you don't need to sell. We're just sharing, right? We're just sharing. Like I don't like that. I don't like that approach. You don't need to sell. You just need to locate people that purchase things. That's I don't like that. I don't like baby bearing my prospects. I would rather battle harden my prospects. So when someone came to me and said, well, how long till I'm making big money? I'd say things like, well, what if it takes 5 years? And they're like, 5 years? I'm like, you got big money coming in 5 years? You got a rich uncle dying? You got some hedge fund or something I don't know about? You got IPO? Let's really like, look, where's your money going to be in 5 years? For most people, it's like, oh, either I'm not sure or worse than it is right now. Oh, okay. So if it took 5 years, that'd actually be okay because the time's going to pass anyway. I'll show you how to make money if you're serious about it, but it's not going to be quick. Like I would rather battle. I would rather make my reps and the people that I talk to into warriors, not wimps. And so I don't want to say, no, there's no selling over here, just sharing and care bearing. Like I don't want to do that. I want to say, yeah, we show you how to use the system, and the system sells the products. So if you can paint by numbers, if you can connect the dots, then you can do this too. Now, if you're coachable, we'll show you what to do. And if you're not, totally cool. If you got another way to make money, go for it. You're muted again.
Okay, I like, okay, yeah, then yeah, I understand because I'm getting what I was trying to say is that they think that we have to sell a product. Ultimately, that's what I tell them, it's like, it's not really, product that we have to go, because my community or people that I know, especially in the community, they're really into their own marketing, but they're into like the product selling, like they have to have physical products with them and it show them and have to show them, which we don't do that. We sell the system and we sell the dream and the opportunity. So it's like, I understand what you're saying.
So are you saying that you don't have physical products? Is that what you're saying?
Right.
So they prefer physical products. You don't have physical products. So you would just, say, hey, the good thing about this is you don't have to have, a whole bunch of, inventory. You don't have to store a whole bunch of stuff in your house. We make it really simple. We show you digital presentations. And so you just, make that argument. You don't deal with inventory issues. You don't deal with shipping. You don't deal with, any of that, something upsetting someone's stomach. So you just talk about what's the counter of not having to deal with physical products.
Okay.
Yeah.
All
All right. Rooting for you, man. All right. Let's go to Anne Marie. How we doing? Is this helpful so far, guys?
Yes, it does.
Yay. Thank you, Anne Marie.
My challenge with marketing for long, I don't even want to say how long, longer than most of the people that you spoke to.
Okay.
The challenge that I have with the company is I'm so used to saying the name and my title kind of is linked with the name and that sort of thing. So how do you talk to people without telling them the name of the company? I've tried it, and then I find myself I'm saying it.
Just know that they don't care. They don't care. Like everyone around you, just assume this, and it's a very safe assumption. They only care about what can you do for them. That's all they care about. How can you help me? So give me, like, everyone else seems to be saying the name, but like, give me, like, what is your company? What's the main problem you're solving? Okay. So if I'm talking to someone, I help someone take years off their face without surgery. Right? Something like that. I'm not saying it's perfect. I mean, that's my, but I'm going to say something like that. Oh, really? How does that work? Well, we actually have this proprietary group of products that we have tested and proven. And I have so many clients that are so happy. And look at these before and afters, right? And so, like, I'm going to roll into what we do. They don't care the name of the company. And I want to prevent them from doing their own independent research. And so when people would ask me, well, what's the name of the company? I'd actually give my team name. My team name was Team Start Living. So if they look that up, you ain't gonna find anything, like you're gonna find like team training. It's gonna be confusing. And so I don't, because the truth is, any company, I don't believe there's an exception to this. Any company over $200 million a year, which is most established companies that have been around for a little bit, have negative press online, and Google knows that negative press gets more clicks than positive press, right? We don't hear about Officer O'Leary rescuing the cat from the tree. We hear about, someone getting beat or shot or, whatever, right? And so the media, Google, everyone knows negativity gets more clicks than positive. So the negative stuff floats to the top. And so I just know that they don't care what the name of the company is. They just don't care. And so there's no reason for me to, to say it. And I'll give you, just because, so you're at a decent rank, you're at a high rank, or?
Nope.
No. Okay. All right. Well, then there's definitely no reason to give rank if you're not at a high rank, right? But let's say that you were. Let's say that you were. So I was at we were having like a little team hangout at Blue Martini in Naples, Florida. And I go up to the bar and getting water, I'm sure at the time. And there's a guy next to me ordering something. And I start talking to him. He's a realtor. And I tell him, I said, hey, I'm here with my group, but listen, we actually work with a lot of realtors. We help them make extra money. I do this on the side, but I'd be happy, if you want to, give me your contact information. I promise I'll follow up with you if you'd like to learn more. And he's like, sure, gives me a card. And so, the next day I call him, I get him on a video, he signs up, right? He joins. About a month later, we're in Tampa, and that event happened to be a very Ray obnoxious event. They had cardboard cutouts of me. I'm the number one income earner. I earned a BMW 7 Series, $100,000 car. And so I'm like everywhere, right? And he happened to come to that event. And so I'm walking down the hotel hallway and I see him and he sees me and he runs over to me and he's like, dude, you're the man. Like you're the number one guy here. You told me you did this on the side. Why didn't you tell me? And I said, because you can't say that. So I was very, what's the word? Diligent, I guess is a nice word, but very lunatic about duplication. I did not want to say, hello, number one earner here. Yes, because they can't say that. So every word out of my mouth to a prospect, they too could say. He could say he did it on the side. I said I did it on the side. I didn't say I even did it full time. Now, I've instructed people to follow this. Most don't. I've told doctors to tell people they work at a hospital. They'll never listen, right? Because they're a doctor, right? But they would be more duplicatable if they told people they worked at a hospital. And no one will ever accuse you of, wait a minute, are you a doctor? No, because you would never say that if you were a doctor. But will anyone be upset at you? How dare you lie to me and say, I thought you were a janitor? Like, no one's going to be mad at you for more humbly introducing yourself. And so there's just zero reason to either flex or give your rank or anything like that. Now, if you're doing a team meeting and everyone in the room knows the company name already, fine. But if you're anywhere else, no one cares the name of the company. They just don't care.
But it's on the front.
Sure. But unless you're like, here, take this, you're probably going to have a conversation before you shove product in their face.
Oh, okay. One other thing, actually, you said about where I am in the company. A lot of people, because I've been doing it so long, a lot of people don't understand why I am not really higher up. And that's been a real challenge. And we had a meeting and they said, oh, you're going to do such and such and such. And kind of tried maybe say, well, I felt I needed to say it somewhere, but I didn't. So, they in other words, they said, oh, and every can move up to such and such a level. And I said, okay. And then I didn't.
So you may, yeah. So, we just posted on our YouTube, one of my favorite stories. So how long you been in the business?
3 years.
Okay. All right. So I would love, if you're game, I would love to do like even a few coaching sessions with you, because you would be my record. I love creating stories like this. So I'll give you two right off the top of my bat. I think one of them's on here. So Lynn Avey, she was 24 years in business before she had a major breakthrough. I coached her and she had a major breakthrough on money and hit diamond the next month. I think she's on here. I thought I saw her. But on our YouTube channel, we just posted a new interview, or actually it's not a new interview, but we posted it. It wasn't up there. Amy Murphy, who for what's that? You watched it last night, yeah. So 17 years, she had never made a profit. She had never made more money than she spent. 17 years. We coach her. She makes $5 million in her company. And so I would love to have my new record be 33 years. That would be awesome. And so reach out to me on Instagram or Facebook. I can put together some kind of small coaching package. It'll probably take 3 sessions. That's my guess. And so reach out to me if you're interested. Okay. Well, I mean, I would need to dig in because 33 years of not making it happen is going to take some one-on-one time. So if you're interested, let me know. I'll make it very reasonable, but I love creating stories. So if you don't reach out, then, I can't help you. All right. You got it. Give Anne Marie a hand. We're rooting for her. Okay. We got Raw. Right? Am I saying that right? Awesome. Hey, Ron Ray. What's happening?
So I'm just following on the trail here. Like I'm in the entrepreneurship platform, Marina, Natasha, etc. Loving it. It's so helpful. I'm more taking the avenue, I was kind of trying to do both product and business forward because I feel when I say, hey, there's this business where you can work online, and then suddenly it's like, oh, there's a product, or suddenly there's, and I was feeling this incongruency. I don't know if it's a block within me. I've been in it a year. I haven't made a sale. I'm getting closer and closer, which I'm celebrating, but I'm also just feeling like that's part one of my question. I don't know if I'm.
Is part 2 similar to part 1 or totally different?
Yeah. Part 2 is like the women who I'm working. Part 2 is the women who I'm really my niche is holistically oriented or holistically health conscious women. So that's why the product is always kind of for me is like, it's truly in alignment with who I am, what I do in my own life, my own detoxing and health values.
Yeah. So here's kind of the rule, right? It is totally fine to lead with product. It's totally fine to lead with business. Don't lead with both. You just don't want to lead with both because it's easier for someone to say no to one or the other when both are presented. Now you can always roll from one to the other, right? So you can roll from, hey, here's this business. It's 50 years old. It's based out of Japan. It's got crazy momentum with all the biohackers out there nowadays that are talking about what we do better than anyone else. So there's this. And then if they say, nah, I'm good with what I'm doing. Okay, good. Congratulations. You got plenty of money. How are you with the health of your family? What are you doing there? Because we have a thing that's licensed, last 30 years. This thing is amazing. It's changed my family's health and our energy. We stopped drinking Red Bull. You know what I mean? So you can roll from one to the other. You just don't want to roll with both at the same time.
Yeah.
And if your main niche is already health-based, then it probably is going to make more sense for you, to talk about the health benefits and talk about the product. Go move, a few machines. And when you move the machines, then bring up, hey, I don't know about you, but I like to at least make my money back when I make a purchase. And if you refer a few people, you can actually get your money back.
Yeah.
That's a real simple. See, a lot of times with the business, so people that are good at selling the machines often aren't that great about talking about the business. And they feel kind of weird about it. They feel icky, or they feel very good sciencey that the product will work. But what's the probability of someone building a business? It's low because most people aren't going to do the work, right? And so instead, you can talk and most people just aren't built for entrepreneurship. They're just not. But saying, hey, wouldn't you like to at least try to get your money back? Try to earn enough to cover your unit. Well, we can show you. We got a system. You just follow it, and you can make as little or as much as you want. And so instead of pitching them on $10,000 a month or $1 million or something crazy that most people don't believe they can do, talk about making a little bit of money. Talk about making your money back. My wife gets $1.2 million worth of skincare stuff every month. And I'm like, can you sell some of this? Like, can you refer people and stuff? Can we break even on this stuff? And, like, like I think most people would like the idea. Like, every month I have found it's true, the best grass-fed beef on the planet. It's the best. The reason it's the best is they have figured out. Now, most ranchers know that when you do grass-fed beef, they won't grow to full maturity. So the cattle get slaughtered at 900 pounds and they haven't fully marbled, they haven't fully matured. So the meat is, it's good for you, but it's not that great. Right? It doesn't taste that good. Well, these guys have figured out how to use these 72-hour sprouts and get the cattle to full maturity and be 100% grass-fed. And so I get products from them every single month, and they have an affiliate program. Every month I unpack the box, I do it in my stories, and I have several people order. So I'm, almost breaking even with my grass-fed beef. And so most people, they can buy into that, whether they're an entrepreneur or not. They can buy into, this would be really good for my family. And if I refer a few people, I could make the money back. Wow, that's kind of cool. Most people would be open to that. How does that sound?
Yeah, helpful. I mean, the unpacking bit and the affiliate stuff, like, I've thought about where I can do that in my life to share about other healthy things just to keep on brand. Because I don't want to start introducing recipes and stuff like that. That's not. Like,
yeah, I was more saying that for you to think about the people you're talking to.
Okay.
I'm not suggesting you now, categorize everything that you do and try to be an affiliate of everything. But I'm just saying most people are open to the idea of I buy something, and if I tell a few people, I get a referral back. That's cool. And like if you look at, you guys have such a long lasting product, like, I mean, the cost isn't really that crazy. I mean, I know that for some people it's a high investment, but because of how long it lasts, it's actually not that crazy. It's not a crazy investment.
Mhm. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe.
All right. Rooting for you.
Thank you, Ray.
Awesome. Okay. Damien, are you able to get on camera or no? I just can't pin you if you aren't. Oh, here we go.
Yeah,
There we go.
can you hear me?
Yes. What's happening?
I have very simple, fundamental question. I'm struggling with that a lot recently. So I work full time, 12-hour shifts. And I also help my wife with her small jewelry business, the website, the branding, and so on. But I'm also involved in magic and video photography. So there's so much things going around me every day. And on one side, I'm struggling with the daily task of actions. So many times when I sit at the computer, I just know what needs to be done, but the amount of work that needs to be put into that just put me off. And then I don't do anything in the business or in my wife's business. So I think I'm looking for a simple plan of actions for everyday tasks to do to improve in the energy business and in my wife's business as well. I don't know if it's clear enough.
Sure. Yeah. So one, I would look at what. So I don't know if you have time for this, but there's a great book out there. It's by Dan Sullivan and Benjamin Hardy. It's called 10X is Easier Than 2X. And the entire book are case studies of businesses that 10X their revenue. And every single one of them didn't add things, they took away things. So they either stopped doing certain things to focus on the profit producing things, or they cut out certain segments of customers they were serving or whatever. I feel like that might be a good thing for you. One question I would be asking is which of any of these can create freedom for me? And you'll probably find that very few of them can ever create freedom for you. Obviously, the direct sales company can, but very few of the other things probably can't. And so if I'm in a situation where I have to do stuff for things that will never create my freedom, I'm going to do the bare minimum for those things, and I'm going to pour my passion into what can create freedom for me. And so, as far as tactical, to give you a walk away, if I'm trying to create freedom in my life because I got 52 things that I'm doing, and I have an hour a day, I need to spend 80, maybe even 90% of that hour either prospecting, reaching out to individuals, or if I have money, because you either have time or money, if I have money, responding to people who responded to my ads. So you got time or money. So if I have no money and can't do ads, then I'm going to spend an hour sending prospecting messages. You would benefit from what I mentioned earlier. It's a special we got going on. It's $17. HigdonGroup.com/unlimited. It's where to locate unlimited amount of prospects, what to say, how to approach them, how to prospect them, and also how to generate leads too. But you probably aren't going to have time for lead generation because that's going to involve creating videos and things like that. And so time or money, ads or prospecting, but the majority of your time has to be spent reaching out and asking the question to people, are you open to looking at my product or opportunity? That's the answer.
Thanks, Ray.
I hope that helps.
Would you mind putting the chat for a second?
Sure.
And also, the other one was you mentioned about the magic containers.
Yeah.
Can you do them, or is it?
So the way that they work, these guys are very smart, by the way. But that company is just, there's a lot of very smart leaders. So they hire me for a flat fee. They go and charge it to their community. They make a profit. Their community's happy as hell. I'm happy. And so I don't offer any of the containers. I just show up. They pay me a flat fee. I have 4 different organizations right now that have hired me to do these containers for their organizations, and they keep rehiring me and rehiring me and rehiring me because they're all blowing up. But I don't offer them, so I don't have a link or anything like that because they're not mine. They're these different leaders, doing their thing.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. So, but I will. Let me get you that book. And it's such a beautiful concept. 10x is easier than 2x because most people, if they think about 10x, they're like, oh my god, I'm gonna have to work 10 times harder. No, actually, that would not work. So it's 10x is easier than 2x because to get to 10x, you have to stop doing things. It's not do more things. You have to be smarter, not work harder. And so it's just a different paradigm. It's very, very well done. It's a very good book. Oh. Well, we're rooting for you, Damien. Awesome. And we'll finish with Yolanda. I don't always get through everyone, but oh my goodness. Looks like we're getting through it. Yolanda, what's happening?
Hey,
Hey, what's going on?
I seen you and you were last time I seen you.
Okay, Alpharetta.
My question is, when I put a post out, I'm not getting no one to respond to my post. I'm not sure if I'm not, I don't know, I can't get anyone to engage.
Yeah. So
Hammer ads,
Okay. No one's responding to the ads either.
Well, the ads are not zoned into the proper person. I'm a nurse, so I wanted like nurse to respond, not people who are not in nursing field.
What does your ad say? What does your ad say?
I just have to work with my ads guy.
Yeah.
To
Hey, nurses, this is for you. Like, just be very clear, right? Clear beats clever. So just be very clear. You want nurses? Hey, nurse, you're working too damn hard. Let me help you out. Let's create freedom for you. Like, it just be very clear, not clever. And so, you know, I don't do this every day, but often I will go into my Facebook memories, right? And so I'll scroll down all the way to, I mean, my original Facebook account got shut down. So I think I only can go back to like 2000, maybe 11. Okay. So when I look at posts that I did from 2011, I see a like by my mom. I see a like by maybe 2 other people. But usually 2011, I get 3 to 5 likes. And by the way, I was the #1 incomer of the company at that point. How? So I didn't wait for engagement. And honestly, when I first started, I really didn't care about engagement. I cared about one thing, and that is how many people am I asking each week if they're open to my product or opportunity? That's it. That's the only metric I cared about. So I co-authored a book called Go for No for Network Marketing. And I highly recommend you get this because I think you'll, okay. Have you read it? You have. Okay. So, I went for 20 no's a day. So what's that?
I'm reading your other book right now.
Okay.
What about faith? What?
Faith Driven Well. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. So
That's what
I did not wait for engagement. I didn't wait to generate leads. When I was not generating leads or engagement, it was very simple. Prospect. I also didn't have money to do ads, right? So you got money to do ads. That's great. I didn't have money to do ads. And at least when I first started, 2009, 2011, I had money to do ads. I didn't do ads though until I think 2014, maybe. And so I wasn't early on with the ad game, but when I wasn't generating leads and I wasn't generating engagement, I prospected like a crazy man. I had to get 20 no's a day before my head hit the pillow. So I recruited people from Twitter, from Facebook, from LinkedIn, from YouTube, from TripAdvisor. I recruited the crossing guard at my son's middle school. I recruited people from Blue Martini. I recruited people from MySpace, for those that remember that. I would prospect anyone and everyone everywhere I went because I was just hungry and my marketing wasn't yet working. Now I knew it would, but it wasn't yet working. So I had to prospect like crazy. And so if you're in a time crunch, because if you're still a nurse, then you got an hour a day, spend 50 to 90% of that asking people the question, would you be open to taking a look at what it is that I'm doing to make extra money? And so it's uncomfortable. It's not fun. It's not cool. If you're driving ads, that shouldn't be that difficult to get nurses to respond to you. If you're a nurse, it shouldn't be that difficult to get nurses to take notice of your nurse ads. Just be very clear. Don't be clever about it. Just be very clear, right? Hey, nurse, you're working too hard. Let's create freedom for you. You can do it part-time. Click here to learn more. So that would be my advice.
Okay. Also, do you have a link to your scripts? I mean, I joined your platform recently, but I'm just trying to figure it all out. Is there a link? I've seen a YouTube video that says you have some scripts.
Yeah, you can go to, so we actually sold out for the first time in 8 years. We are completely sold out of our physical script book. So we made it digital. So there's no shipping. You get it right away. And you can get it at higdongroup.com/scripts. higdongroup.com/scripts. And so, yeah, feel free to grab it. And it gives you a lot of scenarios, overcoming objections, reach outs, follow-ups, just the idea of posture. And so, yeah, feel free to check it out.
Okay, thank you.
Cool. Awesome. Rooting for you. Cool. And then just keep a heads up. I don't have a link for you yet, but next Thursday, we're going to be doing a epic training with me and my COO on goal setting for the new year. It's going to be epic. And I'm going to make an announcement that's going to blow your mind. It is something I've never seen anyone else do in the industry, where we're actually going to pit teams against each other to win a $25,000 prize. So that's all I'm going to tell you. I'm not going to give you all the details, but stay tuned. On Monday, we'll start marketing that goal setting webinar. You can attend for free. And so just stay tuned for that, and we'll be sharing that. And so I appreciate you very much. God bless you guys. Have an amazing weekend. Please pray for my Colts. Please don't have me drive 10 hours and be disappointed. So please pray for my Colts. Do not pray for the Jaguars, please. And I appreciate you guys. So have a great weekend. Bye, guys.